Hey, Matt, Killer Kyle here, and welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. And before we begin, I figured we needed a little cervezas. So we have these things. I thought we would do a review of both Hell in a Cell and this beer that I haven't tried called Erdinger Weissbrau. So obviously I think it's a German beer.
Right.
Yeah, I think it is. Doesn't necessarily say. Huh. Anyhow, I picked this up at the beer store, well actually LCBO. So, I hope you like it. Look at that. That's a beautiful head, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't ever think we had a beer that foamy, have we?
I don't think so.
But, yeah, mine's a little bit more foamier, but...
Yeah, mine's had a bit of a chance to settle, you just poured yours.
But, anyways, that's the of you.
That's true of you.
And here's to all the YouTubers out there. The YWC. Yeah. People.
Yeah.
So, let's test this out. I got foam.
Not bad.
There we go.
It's a light beer.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the red beers, but definitely got that wheat, I think.
Yeah, there's not really a flavor that really stands out. Like, it's a good beer, but like, it's not like, oh, and I taste wheat or barley or, orange or, whatever, vanilla even or whatever. But
It's refreshing.
yeah,
It's something that I won't buy again. But I've always loved those international beers.
yeah.
So, anyways, on with the review. Hell in a Cell. Alright, so let's start off with the triple threat for the Raw Women's title. Now, I'm sure SmackDown tonight, well, maybe not have a women's title match, which is kind of a shame. But you have Becky Lynch versus the champion Bianca Belair and Asuka.
Yes. The Empress of Tomorrow returned a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, her and Becky kind of get into a thing, and then, Becky and Bianca have been going back and forth for the championship. And then Asuka had a contender match, and she won, and then Becky ended up added to the match, and it's like, okay, Becky, I don't feel like needs the championship again. If you put the title on Asuka, not really a bad thing. I have a feeling though it'll probably be Bianca that retains.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to see Bianca Belair versus Asuka.
Yeah.
I think that when Becky left to become a mother and
Right.
whatever, yeah, you know what? She gave the belt to Asuka. Asuka didn't really, well, unless you count the whole thing where she won Money in the Bank. So there's that. Bianca Belair has been a great champion so far. That's an understatement, I know.
Yeah.
But winning the SmackDown Women's Championship last year against Sasha Banks, and then of course winning it this year, the Raw Women's Championship
Yeah.
from Becky Lynch, I think that this is the show of, again, rematches. Except in this case, we're going to throw in Asuka.
Yeah.
I would love to see Asuka go over,
Yeah.
but I agree with Kyle. I think Bianca should retain.
Yeah.
I think that should happen, and then next pay-per-view, which is probably Money in the Bank,
Yes.
then I want to see Bianca versus Asuka.
Yeah, I could do that. For the United States Championship, you're gonna have Austin Theory against Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about this one has been I hadn't seen Mustafa since pretty much since Retribution split.
Yes.
Like he went on his own for a little bit and then just I think took time off or whatever. And then just recently re-emerged and got a beef with Theory, and now he's in the championship match. Well, there was a match with Theory and Mustafa on Raw. Theory attacked him, and then beat him fairly quickly. And then Adam Pearce came in and was like, "Oh, we've been really impressed with the championship reign, but Mr. McMahon wants to see you defend the title in a straight-up match, one-on-one, against Ali at Hell in a Cell." And it's like, okay, that's fine. I say Theory retains.
Yeah, well,
As much as, may not like him, Mustafa hasn't had a real notable run to a championship. He did okay prior to the Retribution thing. Retribution ran its course. It could have been better than what it was. Retribution split.
right.
Mustafa hadn't been around for a while, and then all of a sudden he's back, and he's getting a title opportunity. And let's not say Mustafa ain't championship material, because he fucking well is.
Yeah.
It's just, he needs a run to get to the title.
I know. I mean, I think my thing that I'm thinking about, that's a tongue twister,
Yeah, exactly.
is okay. So, Mustafa doesn't win, Theory retains.
Yeah.
Where do they go from here? Because
Yeah.
I don't see any other worthy opponent for Austin Theory. It would be nice to see maybe a rematch with Balor. I doubt it though. I mean, that's kind of Finn Balor doing his own thing, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I honestly want to see Mustafa Ali go over. Only because if you're going to have a worthy feud for Theory, then I would sooner have them go, hell, maybe they could go all the way to SummerSlam. I think that's kind of a thing where you have to look at these things differently. In that case, I think that Mustafa could be a reliable champion, a good champion.
Yeah.
I keep saying reliable, but with Austin Theory as the champion, just kind of taking selfies and whatnot, it's starting to run its course. Not saying that Mustafa is going to be an exciting champion by any means. I just think that with all the shit with Retribution and that fucking storyline he had where he was like, I don't know, all because my name is Muslim and it's, getting a bad rap. No, that's bullshit.
Right.
So anyways, he left, but he's back, and that's great. I'm glad that either A, they gave him a second chance, or whatever, and, I think you're gonna run with that, and B, I want to see how far he would go as the U.S. champion. Who knows? Really, I don't see Austin really carry it out longer than he has.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the whole thing is with him doing the selfies and all this stuff. It's he's become a fairly good heel.
Oh yeah, I mean that's unique in itself.
Yeah.
So. So now we have this match, handicap match.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this is kind of dumb, but Almas and MVP versus Bobby Lashley.
Alright. So, you have Bobby Lashley challenge MVP to a match, one-on-one. If MVP won, he could choose a stipulation between Lashley and Omos. If Lashley won, he could pick the stipulation. And there you have the match. Omos got involved. Lashley got counted out. MVP won. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. Then MVP was talking like, oh, I'm gonna pick a stipulation that there's no way Lashley can win. And there's, I'm sure, several different theories that went through people's minds. No disqualification, false count anywhere, no holds barred, street fight, whatever, some sort of really good stipulation match, and you go handicap match? Why? We know MVP's involvement in matches with Lashley and Omos before. Well, MVP's involvement in their match at WrestleMania Backlash, the Steel Cage match. You don't need this match.
No.
If you're gonna have Lashley and Omos go one-on-one, like I said, you could have picked any you could have done a Hell in a Cell. That would have worked.
I mean, yeah. Look, and this is a classic example of taking somebody, putting them on the top, and then just shitting on them once they lose that momentum.
Yeah.
Last year, at Hell in a Cell, even before that, Bobby Lashley was the WWE champion.
Mm-hmm.
The second black WWE champion, unless you include The Rock, whatever. You have a guy that was money. He had the suits, he had MVP, he had the champagne, he had the chicks, he had the lounge, and then it just fell around the wayside. You don't count the Hurt Business with Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, I know.
So there's that. And then you bring in Omos. Now Omos is this giant motherfucker. He comes in from Nigeria. He had the thing with him being a bodyguard from the Raw Underground series. And then of course he becomes a wrestler. Okay, fine. To have a match like this doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
You would never put Andre the Giant with Hulk Hogan and Paul Orndorff.
No.
So, I don't know what the fuck this means. I just don't get it. Omos is gonna win anyways.
Most likely.
Well, Omos and MVP.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is Bobby a good wrestler? He still is.
Oh, yeah.
But he's already proved it.
Yeah.
You know? And besides, Omos is the younger talent. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? Fuck, I want to see MVP and Omos go over.
Okay. Okay, say MVP and Omos win. Theoretically, who should Omos face next?
I have a perfect opponent. Shanky.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, think about it. Shanky is somebody that has just turned face. And yeah, I know, he's a SmackDown guy. So maybe we'll see how that works. Because like I said, the brand split's gonna go fall on the wayside anyways.
If it hasn't already.
Yeah, exactly. So, honestly, yeah. I mean, look at Shanky. Look at Omos. I mean, there's a little bit of a height difference, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's the modern day unmovable object versus the unstoppable force.
True.
So, yes, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens, but I mean, honestly, like Andre, unfortunately, we don't see Omos with the WWE title.
No.
So,
When I saw they had Shanky dancing on SmackDown last week, it's like, what the fuck did they give him a personality?
yeah. Well, again, it's almost like the Great Khali. You know, here's a guy that was this badass motherfucker with Sean Daivari, and then he goes in and he, you know, wreaks havoc, you know, takes out Undertaker, becomes the world champion, and now they had him with Ron Ginseng, and he's dancing and he's doing a kiss cam.
Yeah.
I hope that don't happen with Shanky. That would be stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean, fuck, even Sanjay Dutt had that. Well, it wasn't really much of a gimmick because it was a part of his culture.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens in the future with that too. But long story short, I think we both pick Omos.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, this storyline has been real interesting. It's kind of been entertaining. It's also one of those things where it's like, okay, it's funny, but like, let's move on from it. Got Ezekiel against Kevin Owens.
For the fucking shot! Okay. Why? You take somebody like Elias Elias Sampson, to be exact.
Right.
You bring him in the WWE roster instead of NXT. You get rid of the Sampson part, fine. He's the drifter. He's had some good matches. You didn't believe him as a champion, whatever. But then, of course, because Rick Brooks is a musician with the guitar, well, we're gonna ditch the Elias thing. So, we have Elias in a graveyard burying himself, whatever. Then he comes out a few months later in the modern day warrior gimmick, and he's like, I'm Ezekiel. I'm Elias' younger brother. Fuck off, you're not! Shaved his face, has a hairdo, whatever. I'm trying to understand what's in WWE's logic. Because you have a lot of these wrestlers pretending like they're stupid, saying, oh yeah, Elias and Ezekiel are different people. And then Kevin Steen, he goes, well, no, he's not, he's a liar, lie. You have the lie detector test. Well, Elias, Ezekiel win, big shock. And now this match. Like, I just don't understand it. You could have had a different guy coming in and calling him Ezekiel.
Yeah.
That would have been fun, but we have to have WWE logic. Which is, let's make this as stupid as possible.
Yeah.
Honestly, I honestly think Ezekiel's gonna win.
Most likely.
And you know what? Whatever.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Old man Vince just woke up one day and said, this is good shit. No, it's not. No, it's not. And this is worse than little Jimmy. So, yeah, you know what? Let's have this match and that's it. Let's fucking end it.
What's in WWE's logic? Yeah, here's an idea. Let's take Elias, shave his beard, cut his hair, put him in tights, boots, give him tassels on his biceps, and we'll call him Ezekiel.
Yep, pretty much. So now we have a 6-man tag team match. Well, actually, mixed tag team,
6-person tag.
Yeah. We have the Judgment Day versus, I guess, the new and improved club of Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan. And I gotta say, it's almost like nostalgia because you've had for Gold Abbott and AJ Styles in New Japan
Yeah.
and most daily independent shows. So it's kind of cool to see them come full circle. And we all know they both did the Too Sweet thing, and now we have Liv Morgan. So that's pretty cool. The Judgment Day, again, a lot of people don't care for that staple because it's almost like House of Black knockoff.
Yeah.
I honestly, it's similar, but not really. So there's that. I want to see. Actually, you know what? I don't know what I want to see. Well, because if I was any indication, Liv Morgan beat Leo Ripley, so. Yeah, you know what? I don't fucking know.
I mean, you could go either way, have AJ Finn win. You could have Judgment Day win. I don't know where you'll go from here with this. Only time will tell. But, yeah.
Is it gonna be a good match? Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, absolutely it will be.
It's just to pick a winner right now would be interesting, and really, I can't decide because they're
Yeah.
both good. But I mean, yeah. Whoever wins, it's gonna be good, and that's all I could say. I mean, we're gonna find out where they can go, towards Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
maybe SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I know that Edge has to have at least one more championship run
Yeah.
while he's still in WWE, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yep. The rubber match. Well, actually, not really rubber match. The third match of the series. Cody Rhodes versus Seth frickin' Rollins.
Mhm.
Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. Since Cody has come back, I think that, he has really shown that he could be a main event player.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it this way, and I thought about this last night. He competed in the first Hell in a Cell pay-per-view
Yeah.
back in 2009.
Yeah.
At that time, he was a tag team wrestler. Now, he had the whole thing where he left WWE
Yeah.
in 2016, wrestled all over the place, and then, of course, did the whole AEW thing,
Yeah.
and whether your opinion of that, I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah.
And now he's back in WWE. Surprised that still they gave him the American Nightmare gimmick.
Yeah.
So there's that. I think that this particular feud, going in to Hell in a Cell, is very good.
Oh yeah.
They both really despise each other.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
you have the whole thing on Raw where Seth goes, "You had your friends try to tear my company down, and I'm still standing."
Right.
Obviously referencing AEW, which is pretty cool. So, I mean, yeah, I'd like to see this match end, just end. After the winner, Hell in a Cell is always going to be that match that ends it all.
Oh yeah.
So, you take that match, you have one of them win, and then they have to move on. And they should.
Yeah.
You still have that whole thing with The Miz and Cody Rhodes. So,
Yeah.
there's that. Where Seth is going to go, not quite sure. If he does happen to win the WWE title, WWE Universal title, who fucking knows? So, I mean, there's that. But
Yeah.
for a winner, I mean, look, Seth has been really beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes the last couple times
Right.
during this lead up, so at the same time, I mean, Cody won at WrestleMania.
Cody won at WrestleMania. Cody won at WrestleMania Backlash.
So, what's not to say that
Cody
Seth...
can't go 3-up.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah.
If Seth doesn't beat Cody, then what is the fucking point? Because Seth has been in the business of WWE for a long time. Cody just came back.
Right.
And I mean, all that I said earlier about him being a main event player, it's just great. I think that's the truth. But at
Yeah.
the same time, honestly, want to see Seth Rollins go over because it's going to prove that, yeah, Cody Rhodes won twice. It's the rubber match. It's the match that Seth Rollins has been in the most of.
Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about the Bray Wyatt match, but
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? I want to see Seth Rollins win.
Considering the fact that, yeah, Seth has been in more Hell in a Cell matches than Cody, this is Cody's first Hell in a Cell match? Or second?
It would be second, actually, because he competed in the first one.
Yeah, yeah, so it's his second Hell in a Cell match. You know, the environment, Seth has always shown that he can, you know, take it to that next level of violence. And, well, you know, Cody has that intense side. We'll see what happens when it comes to, like, you know, say they use chairs, kendo sticks, trash cans, you know, the cage itself, whatever. Will that be Cody's demise? Or will that help him get another win? I mean, I do agree with Matt. Seth has to win at some point. Will it be Hell in a Cell? Perhaps. I mean, this is kind of familiar territory for Cody. It's a lot more familiar territory with Seth, so I mean, the dynamic is very interesting, to say the least.
It's one of those things where you look at the build-up and you think, oh my god, this is really good. I just don't want to see a lot of build-up and no payoff.
Oh, Drew. Heading into WrestleMania, there was a little bit of build-up.
Yeah.
After WrestleMania, heading into WrestleMania Backlash, the build-up grew, and now the build-up has gotten even bigger and more intense, heading into Hell in a Cell. And the previous two matches have been fantastic. I don't think this match will disappoint.
Oh, I don't think so either. I mean, Hell in a Cell matches have always been great and bloody and whatever you want. And that's what kind of excites Cody Rhodes, because you've seen it if you watch the Stone Cold Broken Skull session.
Yeah.
He loves the violence. He
Oh,
loves
yeah.
the blood.
Yeah.
If this is not bloody, and it can be, then really, it hasn't done its job if it's not that way. You want to end on a high note. And I think that would be the best way to do it.
Can it be bloody? Yes. Will it be? The way things have gone with WWE over the last 15 years?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Incidental? Sure. On purpose? No.
Well,
There won't be any bleeding.
well, I hope not. I fucking hate that shit. But, you know, whatever. So, yeah, I guess we're both in agreement then.
Yeah.
So, there it is.
Yeah.
So, this has been Wheels of Fury, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And the next time we will be doing a pay-per-view of, you know, present day, I guess, because we still at the Look Back At series of, well, we're going to start in 2006.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. Money in the Bank is coming up. We got Forbidden Door.
Yes.
The only match we know about is CM Punk versus Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Right.
So, look forward to that. There's something else in the future.
Slammiversary?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Alright. So anyways, This is me, Matt, and Killer Kyle. Beware,
Take care.
because the freaks come out at night.